it's really priceless. I can't put an item on it, but I just I just sat here in my kitchen and I saw her sitting at the kitchen counter on the high chair, and I'm like, wow, wow, my daughter is in front of me, and there's nobody stopping it. There's no lawyers, there's no attorneys, there's no uh, backlash from anybody. And then I'm looking at her and I'm saying, wow, I was part of creating my daughter. And I look at her eyes, look at her facial features, and I'm like, oh, she does look like me. About a year and a half ago, a little, maybe 2 years, I want to say, with help of her boyfriend, the father of my granddaughter, um, he kind of pushed her, kind of saying, hey, it's important to hook up with your dad. I know that he lost out some things in his life with his dad, and it was uh, it was a big accomplishment. I basically, so a lot of times through the years when I started Danielle with people, I would try to reach out to them and show them my kindness, my caring and everything like that. So I reached out to him, and he pushed the issue with her, and she listened to him. And we met the first time. I mean, obviously we met when she was like 12, 13, but this time meeting her, like her pulling up in front of my house, getting out of a car and like walking into my house and sitting in at my kitchen and living room was just like, oh my gosh, it's like something, which is not a thing, but someone that I fought so hard for over 20 plus years is actually right here sitting in my house with my wife, with my boys, as a whole family. So I want to actually, thank her boyfriend, LB, for doing that. So that was good. And then we got together. We had some good times. We had some rough times a little bit. It's not so easy just kind of coming together because she had so many emotions, towards me, so many things that I understand why. And she always asked me questions, some questions um, a little more critical than others, and I'll tell her the truth. I mean, there's nothing that I'm going to hide. She might not like the answer, but I'll tell her the truth. Um, so we were good in the beginning. We had a little bit of a rocky downfall for a little bit because I guess I was expressing some things, and I have to remember when I express some things, I have to remember I'm her father. She's 21 years old. I'm 56, I'll be 57. I need to be a little more mature, but sometimes my emotions should never take over my reactions. And sometimes when all these years of buildup, maybe I just vented to her and I really shouldn't have. And I didn't vent to her anger. I just said some things that were hurtful to her. It'll always be a work in progress. We've lost 20 plus years. I've lost all of her childhood. I didn't get to grow up with her, but I have a granddaughter now that she has a daughter, Callie, and I can make sure that Callie gets what she needs to grow up as a little girl, not being taken into the spotlight, not being, you know, um, traveled all over the world and to be exposed in ways, that she's obviously successful, in her career, but she's lost out on a lot of things. So our relationship was great. I just got back from California. She asked me to come out there to help her with a few things. How could a daddy say no when your child you've been trying to be with for 20 plus years says, hey, dad, can you come to California, help me out? Of course I'm going to do that. And I'm going to drop everything and I'm going to go out there. How could you say no? And first of all, I wouldn't say no. So I went out there. We had a really good time. As you could tell, she posted to the world. She just got her nose done. She had some surgery done on her nose. She didn't like a little bump, and you could blame me for that because I might have a little bump or whatever. But I went out there. I helped her, through her post surgery and stuff, and um, it was great. I mean, I couldn't have been so happier just being there and helping her in such a situation that was like that's what dads do, you know. So our relationship is very good right now. We're getting stronger day by day and day by day. And then with my wife and with her brothers, Isaac and Elon, it's just growing for the best. I think she understands that I didn't go away. She understands a lot of the hardship that I went through. She understands how it affected me in my personal life, in my career. with relationships with some other people. I fought a battle that not everybody would have fought. A lot of people told me to just go away, just let her be. Don't. And I say to these people, I said, would you do that to your child? Would you ever do that to your child? Just walk away and not ever want to see them again. Yeah, unfortunately, some parents do that, but it's not me. I don't do that. I couldn't. I saw a child in need for love. I saw a child in need for a dad, and I saw something that was part of me that needed me to be back in that child's life. So um, I'm just at awe, really. I really am. I mean, my family's complete now, and my mom is ecstatic, and um, my other cousins and stuff like that are and aunts and whatever are sending me messages, can't wait to meet her and stuff because it's part of her family. And they saw the struggles that I went through. I mean, they saw the demons that I was fighting. You haven't seen them. I don't expose them on social media, but there's a lot of demons inside me that I fought. I fought off them, and I killed every one of them just to be a dad. She's doing well. She's getting her therapy and her treatment. Excuse me. Um, and she's progressing. It's a lower form of cancer. Obviously it's out there. She discussed what it was. I'm there to support her. She seems like she's progressing. She's doing well. It's going to take a little while to kill the cancer cells. Excuse me. And she's in good spirits about it. So I'm not worried about that. I'm really not. You have concerns in the back of your head, of course, but she's going for the better. She's getting better. It's always good to have two parents. I get that, and you get two different perspectives in life. And look, my wife is the is the what I want to call it. She's the queen of the house. I come home and it's like, daddy, daddy, daddy. I'm like, yes, yes, yes. And it's mommy, my mommy is no, no, no. So when you get different, you know, um, ideas from different parents, but for me to be there, for her to be able to call me and say, hey, I didn't like what this person posted about me. I didn't like what this person said about me. And it really bothers me now. For all these years, when I saw all these posts about people saying so many negative things, I wanted to respond, but I didn't. Um, I might have said a couple of things back to certain people when they came after me. Um, when they send me nasty messages or whatever, I would respond back. Now I don't respond back to anything. I see so many horrible things that people say about me. I'll help Danny in whichever way that she wants. I want Danny to understand that she can't react the way she likes to react. She can't react out of anger. She can't react out of frustration. She can't react like ways that she used to when she was younger. When you saw certain examples of her, reacting to the audience, Dr. Phil, or reacting to issues in her life, I want her to have a different way of understanding how to react to all these negative things that come in your life. Look, it took me a long time to kind of settle down and let this stuff roll off because I was groomed to it a little bit, obviously being a police officer for 30 years because people don't always like us, but they didn't really attack me personally all the time. But now these people out there would attack me personally and my family personally, and they would say some really horrible things. And I don't want to say it was hurtful because hurtful is kind of like a kind word. It was just blatantly pure evil. And I think she responds to evil in different ways that I respond, and I want her to understand that this stuff shouldn't really affect her as much as she's getting older in life, and to realize her priorities in life is Callie, her daughter, LB, her boyfriend, and her family now, and her extended family, like myself and her brothers and my wife. She needs to understand that you're growing up, you're getting to become. Look, she's 21 years old. She'll be 22 soon. She needs to realize that she's a big girl now and she has more responsibilities and more accountability. Um, and I think she's realizing that. And her persona, her aura, the way she presents herself, I think she's going to do that. I think she's going to do really well in her future. But I'm here to help her and guide her whichever way she wants. I get people connect me with people from all over the world. and they tell their stories, and I try to tell mine to a bit or give them some encouragement. And I try to share the hardships that they're going to go through and what to expect or what they're going to go through. And not only, it's really strange, but not only do adults reach out to me, but young children reach out to me too, saying, "Hey, I don't have a dad or I don't have a mom. I grew up this, and how did Danny deal with it?" So I read some kind messages. I know sometimes people are trying to get some information or whatever, but there's some really sincere children out there who go through this and are suffering through it. So I kind of, within limits, obviously I'm not going to be chatting with a 9-year-old online, but there's some older teenagers, 18, 19, 20, 21, and young 20s that say, hey, because they're adults now. And at that age, they start to pry into more information about why their dad wasn't around, why their mom wasn't around. So I think that's kind of cool too, that kids are reaching out as well. There is hope. Don't give up. I mean, I for all these years, Danielle expressed a lot of anger towards me on social media, in the courtroom, and then sometimes she would post things about me saying, well, if you want to be my dad, why don't you do this, and that, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That stuff makes me saying, wow, I've hurt her. I hurt her emotionally, that she wants to be loved by a dad. Does she have daddy issues like she's told me? Yeah, because I wasn't around. And I get that. And I apologize to her every day. It wasn't my choice of not being around. Believe me, it wasn't my choice. I wanted to be there. My wife wanted to be there for her. My parents wanted to be there for her. But due to the circumstances, I wasn't. But now I am there for her. And nothing's going to stop me. Yeah, absolutely nothing's going to stop me. There's no judge. There's no attorney. There's no nothing. She's an adult. She's 21 years old. Nobody could stop me from seeing my daughter now, because I just can't, unless my daughter doesn't want to see me anymore. But I don't think that'll happen. We've got too much invested now and too much love and caring for each other.